Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the hundreds and hundreds of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, it's been a few weeks since we basically heard about the Keith Thurman Shawn Porter fight, happening. We know it's supposed to happen in 2016. We're still awaiting a date. And I haven't made any videos on this, and because there's no date, there's no venue, there's no official time, I'm not even getting excited about it, because that's how boxing is. If there's no date, there's no time, there's no venue, why even get your hopes up? So, do I want the Thurman Porter fight to happen? Of course. They're two of my favorite welterweights in the division. But with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and get excited until there's actually a date. So, Kenny Porter, recently came out, when he came out on BoxingScene.com. Shout out to Steve Kim. He came out basically. He said that he believes that Keith Thurman is having second thoughts about this fight. Now, Keith Thurman has always been a guy who, number one, I always check for his interviews because he always drops some great sound bites. But he hasn't had any interviews. He hasn't had any media appearances of any kind since like the last 2 months. He's been very silent, uncharacteristically, and that's odd. And if there are any Keith Thurman interviews floating around out there, please send them to me and leave them in the comments below. But I haven't seen any. I haven't heard of any. So Kenny Porter is basically just saying that Keith Thurman is basically having second thoughts. And we're going to get into the quotes. We're going to break this down. We're going to dissect it as always. But Kenny Porter states the following, I quote, "I have been reassured that the Keith Thurman Shawn Porter fight is going to happen in 2016. As of this moment, I haven't received a date, I have not received a venue nor a city, but I have been reassured that they are going to fight. I am going to the Danny Jacobs-Peter Quillen fight to be part of the event to see the fight, and enjoy the festivities of that, and hopefully get a few minutes with the people that are involved with putting this fight together to find out what is the status of it, and also to let people know that Shawn Porter is ready to fight Keith Thurman or whoever else is wanting to fight us and the level that we fight at. Obviously, when you're trying to get a big fight like this one put together, there's a lot of intangibles, a lot of things to put it together, but I'd like to know if some of those things have come to pass and if some of those things have been accomplished at this point. 3 weeks ago is when I received my assurance, so yes, I am confident in that. But moving forward, we're getting closer to 2016. I do really want to get more information in regards to that. So meaningful decisions need to happen here soon. So what you're hearing from Kenny Porter is nothing but flat out just uncertainty in regards to this fight that we as the boxing fans want to see. 3 weeks ago is when we really started hearing about, Thurman Porter and it happening. They were shooting for the end of 2015, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So now we're hearing early January. You would think kind of after Garcia and Guerrero, somewhere after that, maybe before, who knows. But we haven't heard anything about that. And the boxing world, the boxing game, as far as the business side goes, can be very fickle. Things can fade away very fast. Fights can be pulled off the table very fast. So 3 weeks is a long time, and we're not really getting any details. It doesn't seem like things are moving forward. I'm not saying the fight's off. I don't know the fight's off to be honest. But I'm just saying, if it's taking a long time, it's not a good thing, because either they're having an issue with the purse or the venue or the date. I don't know what the problem is, but hopefully they can get that figured out. They got to get it figured out. This is a fight that not that we want to happen, but it has to happen. So here's some more quotes from Kenny Porter. He says, I quote, "So I believe that it is not an easy of a pass as most people may think, because they just do not know the back history of Shawn and how long he's been doing this. A lot of fans are not educated to the coaches as well, because I have had numerous opportunities to work with a lot of young professional champions that we have right now. Your Gary Russells, your Charlos, and your Demetrius Andretti's. I have had numerous occasions to work with all these guys in the amateur camps and professional camps as well. So Keith Thurman is no different. I coached him in the amateurs. I worked his corner in the amateurs. I worked in his corner in international competitions. I worked his corner in a professional fight here in Las Vegas. So there's a lot of things that come to play when you get ready to set that fight. You've got a lot of things to think about. So obviously the boxing world is very small. If you're a part of the boxing world in any way, whether you're a media guy like myself, a fighter, a promoter, whatever the case may be, the boxing world is very small, and everybody kind of knows everybody, or a lot of people, and this fight has to get made. This fight has to get made because Keith and Shawn have been saying they want to fight each other. Keith always had those interviews on Fight Hype where he's like, I'm a yes man. I'm a yes man. So the fact that he's being quiet is not a good sign. It's not a good sign, and I'm hoping the fight happens because that's a great fight. That's gonna be two prime welterweights fighting each other. That's gonna give us some clarity on the pecking order at 147, which we need some clarity on. It's going to give one of those two guys some opportunities for bigger fights in the future. It needs to happen because they want to fight each other from what we know, and it's been very close to happening. They just don't have the dates, they don't have the time. So hopefully this is not an issue that continues to happen, because if it does, at some point the fight will be pulled off the table because that's just the way boxing works, sadly. Pro boxing at the end of the day is ultimately a business. It's not like the amateur boxing, which is really more of a sport. Obviously it's a sport at the pro level, but the business side comes first. So hopefully we get this fight. Hopefully we get to see Porter tested against a guy with multiple dimensions in Thurman. Hopefully we get to see Thurman come in there with a top guy who can pressure you. It's a great stylistic matchup. It's a fun fight. It's two big names in the welterweight division. We got to see it. So that's the news. Kenny Porter basically saying that Keith Thurman's having second thoughts on fighting Shawn Porter, and I can't lie, I'm kind of starting to believe him now because of Keith Thurman being so quiet. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope this fight happens. I hope that there's just negotiations taking place, and that's why they're quiet. So let me know what you guys think. Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, still no date, still no venue, no none of that. Kenny Porter growing a bit impatient with it. I'm going a bit impatient with it. This is my first video on it for a good reason, because I've been impatient with it. There's nothing official yet, but leave your comments down below about anything regarding this fight. Take the time to subscribe as always, and until next time, take care guys. Peace.